The movements involved in pro and recreational sport, all of the exercises that you perform in the gym, and the majority of the daily activities that you perform throughout a day all have one thing in common. They're built from a series of fundamental movement patterns. Learning and practicing these movement patterns is going to be the key to injury prevention and improving your physical performance. In the How to Move series, I'm going to show you how to perform all of these fundamental movement patterns so that you can move your best. Hi guys, welcome back to Stout Sport Performance. I'm Austin Stout, and in today's video, we're going to build upon this idea of bracing, and we're going to talk about the bracing sequence. Now, I'd first seen this from Kelly Starrett from the Ready State. This is just a great way, the bracing sequence, to incorporate this concept of bracing into our daily lives. This is going to help us get into better positions more often and allow us to be in positions that are going to be optimal for high quality movement. So we're going to go through this sequence, and I don't want you to forget this sequence because this is going to be the first step to performing the other fundamental movement patterns that we're going to learn throughout this How to Move series. And it's going to start with our feet. We're going to try to get our feet here in a nice straight position. This is going to be called a neutral foot position. And once we've had that, we're going to try to grip the ground with our feet. Now that sounds a little bit weird, but what you're going to see if we do this correctly is a little bit of rotation, external rotation of my legs. And what you might notice if you do that on your own is you're going to get a little bit of tension in your glutes. You're going to get a little bit of this external rotation, and that's going to turn your glutes on. We're going to want that to be able to make sure that we're in an optimal position for movement. Now from here, before we actually brace our core and brace our torso, we're going to want to make sure that we put our pelvis in a quality position, and we're going to call that a neutral pelvic position. Now all this means is that we're aligning our hips in the correct position so that when we brace, we're locking our pelvis and we're locking our torso here into a high quality position and not locking them into a less than optimal position. Okay, so I'll turn to my side to show you guys this, how we're going to get that neutral pelvic position. And we're going to start by thinking about our pelvis as a bucket of water. Now if we tilt that bucket forward, we're going to have water pour out the front. And if we tilt that as far back as we can, we're going to have water pour out the back. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to rock the hips forward and backward until we find that nice middle position where we think no water would pour out the front or back of our bucket, so to speak, if it were to be one. Now once we've done that, we're going to take a nice deep breath in, right into our stomach, trying to fill our stomach with air. And then we're going to breathe out and then brace that core just like we did in the curl up exercise in the previous video on bracing. The last step to this bracing sequence is simply going to be to externally rotate the shoulders and pull your chest to a nice tall position. That's going to be our bracing sequence. We're going to go through that one more time. We're going to keep our feet in a neutral position, straight position. We're going to externally rotate with our glutes by trying to grip the ground. We're going to find that neutral pelvic position. We don't want any water spilling out the front or back of our pelvis. Breath in, brace the core, externally rotate the shoulders, and now we're ready for high quality movement. Practice this all the time. Go through this sequence if you're standing in line at a bakery. Go through this before you sit down at work. Do this before you perform a set of squats. Just make this a habit, and what you're going to see over time is you're going to adopt this position as a normal position for yourself in life. This is going to become a habit, and this is going to lead to high quality movement and better position throughout your day. That means better performance and less pain if you're suffering from anything related to persistent soft tissue and joint pain. So that's the bracing sequence. We're going to use this in our fundamental movement patterns that we're going to learn in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time when we learn about the hip hinge.